Tracie, it's nice sometimes just to get off the snow machines and take a little walk in the bush, look around, observe, like you see the animal tracks that are here.
Yeah, I see lots of them down here actually. What do we have over there?
Right there is fox tracks. They tend to like to travel along the trails while they're hunting. And it's natural for them because it's a nice hard packed surface. And like all other animals, they don't want to go through the deep snow. They conserve energy that way. Over there we have a set of marten tracks. And you tell it's a marten track because the way they hop. You'll see that their two front legs hop deep into the snow and then their back legs come forward and their belly drags in the snow. And you can tell by the tail drag also and the short distance between the tracks. Marten's only about that long.
That looks very similar to the fox tracks there. How can you tell them apart?
But you can tell it because of the hop, where the fox will walk like an angle back and forth. They tend to hunt the whole area, where a marten is very direct. When he sees the prey, he goes directly at it. Where a fox, when he's hunting, he'll sniffle around for mice, he'll sniff around for hares or grouse that are underneath the snow.
Any chance of us seeing some bigger animals today?
Well, hopefully not. We don't want to run into one, but hopefully it'd be nice to see one in the field. Like you can see over here, there's some moose tracks over here, some old moose tracks.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why they're in this area here is because you can see the creek that goes in the back. There's nice vegetation for them to eat.
Yeah.
They love walking on the trails also, especially at night. It's easier for them to walk. If their natural predators like the wolf go after them, they can get away.
Yeah.
And then they can go down to the creek bed. And usually when you see a moose during the winter, it's not only one, it's 3 or 4 because they're herded up for their own protection during the winter.
By looking at the tracks, can you tell the size of it or anything?
Not these ones here particularly because they're covered in snow, but if I found a fresh one, I could tell you if it was a large moose, or if it's a cow moose, a bull moose, or a calf.
Well, that was a great ride. That's a nice trail.
Beautiful trail, Tracie. Nice and smooth, straight.
It is. Now we're in Moonbeam now. We had lunch yesterday at a clubhouse in Valrita, and now we're doing the clubhouse today in Moonbeam. Who organizes and operates these clubs?
These clubs are owned by the municipality and also by the clubhouse, the club itself. The money that they get to run these places is done by the volunteers. It has nothing to do with the Ontario Federation Snowmobile Clubs. These clubhouses are traditional up north.
And they're year-round clubs most of the time.
They're year-round clubs.
Now, Tom, when most of us see a forest fire, we automatically think bad news, but this isn't always the case, right?
Absolutely not. Fire's just as important as sunshine or rain to every forest ecosystem in North America.
Now, you brought with you a tree cookie, and this gives us lots of valuable information on forest fires, doesn't it?
It does. Every tree, if you took a section, the rings indicate each year of growth of the tree. But this one's a little unusual in that it has a number of fire scars that are on it, and those fire scars indicate times when fires were there.
So a forest can actually bounce back after a fire?
It doesn't just bounce back, it actually becomes a different ecosystem. So there are many plants that actually benefit from fire. They have a really hard seed coat that the seed may sit there for 30 years just waiting for fire, and that cracks that seed open and it begins to grow. And then it recycles the leaves too. The leaves that sit on the forest floor, they trap the nutrients that used to be in the soil. Now they get released back to the soil again. So it's kind of nature's fertilizer.
Lynn, you were right. This is a great place to stop and have a hot chocolate here. This is your hut?
Yep, this is our fish hut here on Remy Lake.
And how often do you get a chance to come out here?
We come out here every time I'm off, basically every weekend. Come out with my husband and my 2 kids, so it's lots of fun.
Great family time.
Yeah, sure. Good fishing too.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about trail safety.
Sure.
What are some of the things that are contributing factors to accidents that happen on the trails?
The major contributing factors that we see when we have snowmobiling fatalities or any kind of accidents Usually number one's alcohol. Alcohol is usually involved. Secondly, speed, major factor in any motor vehicle accident, more so in snowmobiling. And then third of all, it's the driver experience. Some people have snowmobiles and they're not really used to their snowmobiles, and they're unfamiliar with the terrain and how to use it. And when they're out on the trails, they're not aware of you know, different lakes or rivers or stuff like that. So it could be a little bit of inexperience as well. It needs to be stressed that people do have to obey signs. They're there for a reason. If there's a sharp curve, you know, and especially at night, we're finding a lot of the fatalities or injuries are occurring at night. A lot of people tend to overdrive, where they're speeding too fast for what they can see ahead. And you can't forget, we have large moose, you know, 1,000 pounds to 1,500 pounds.
And they're not looking at the signs.
No, they're not. And they're out in the middle of the trail. And I mean, if you're doing over 100 kilometers an hour and you hit one of those, you know, the odds are not very good that you're going to make it out alive.